On this diagram, the lines AB and CD are parallel. We have to take note. And then, of course, therefore, the line C, we can call it CF, is a transversal going across the line AB and CD. So it's a transversal. And we know the properties of a transversal across two parallel lines. That's the first thing we have to take note on this diagram. Next, we have to take note about isosceles triangles. What is the property of isosceles triangle? An isosceles triangle have two sides equal. This side is equal to this side. That's the property of an isosceles triangle. And then base angles are equal. If we call this P, call this Q, call this R, then we are saying angle Q is equal to angle R for an isosceles triangle. Why are we talking about isosceles triangle here? If we look at the diagram, we see there's a triangle here, and when we have these marks there, it simply means that this side is equal to this side. Automatically, this triangle is an isosceles triangle. And so we should be able to identify the base angles. The base angles are the angles below where we have those equal sides. These are the equal sides. Below should therefore be here. So we expect this angle to be equal to this angle. All right, this is an isosceles triangle. So those are the two challenges in this question. Okay. We also know that angles on a straight line give us 180 degrees and so on. Now let's go ahead therefore. Now, with a transversal, we know that corresponding angles are equal. If we just make a small extension of the line CD, let's just take off C and make that small extension. Make that small extension there so as to see. We will see that this angle here corresponds to that angle with respect to the line AB and the transversal. This is a transversal. This is the line AB. That angle, and this is the same transversal. And then when we look at this other line, this angle corresponds to that angle. So corresponding angles are equal. So we expect this angle to be 125 degrees also. All right. So this being known, we now know that this line, which is a straight line, will mean that this angle will be 180 minus 125 since they lie on a straight line. Angles on a straight line is 180 degrees. So this one here will be 180 minus 125. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's call this angle C, since this point was C. So we'll call it angle C will be equal to, let's write it very well, angle C will be equal to 180 degrees minus 125. We're working from here, angles on a straight line. That should give us 180 minus 125. We have 5 there. 5. All right, we have 55. Okay, we have 55 degrees. So this angle here is 55 degrees. So if we look at that angle there corresponds to this. So if this is 55 from this our isosceles triangle, we have just removed this triangle and we'll put it here. This is 55 degrees. And we expect this angle here, we call it Q, to be equal to this angle called R. Okay? Okay? So let's just go ahead and consider this isosceles triangle as this one that we have drawn here. Let us get angle Q and let us get angle R. So we know that angle Q plus angle R plus this angle of the 55 degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. That is the sum of the interior angles of any triangle must be 180 degrees. But angle Q is equal to angle R, property of isosceles triangle. So we can just write this as either 2Q or 2R. So we can go ahead and say 2R plus 55 is equal to 180 degrees. All right, so 2r now will be equal to 180 degrees minus 55. 180 degrees minus 55 again should be 125. So we're saying 2r is equal to 125. If we divide both sides by 2, then we're saying r is 62.5 degrees. 62.5 degrees. All right, this angle here is 62.5 degrees, and this angle automatically is also 62.5 degrees. So that when we sum all of them, it will give us 180 degrees. All right, now remember this r is like this angle here. This is your r, and this one is your q. We know this angle, 62.5 degrees. And this angle lies with this angle x that we're asked to look for on a same straight line. They lie on the same straight line. So how do we get x? So we form this equation. R plus x must be 180 degrees. These are angles on a straight line. And so we know r is what? 62.5. All right. So this is the equation we have. So therefore, to have x, we have 180 minus 62.5 degrees, which should give you 180 minus 62.5 degrees. That should give you 117.5 degrees. 117.5 degrees. All right. So the angle x is 117.5 degrees.